Today down there. Has Jack done a memo or anything like that?
It's Friday morning in Darwin and lawyer Shannon Ramsey is preparing for court. Shannon is the managing solicitor of the youth team at the North Australian Aboriginal Justice Agency. She represents children as young as 10.
And so when you're walking in with them, they're standing shoulder height. When they're sitting next to you at the bar table, their feet aren't touching the ground on the chair.
Over the past few months, her team has noticed an alarming trend.
Anecdotally, we are seeing an increase in arrests. We are seeing an increase in young people coming to court in custody rather than coming to court on bail or for summons. We're seeing an increase of young people in detention.
In May, the Northern Territory government passed reforms that make it harder for young people to get bail and revoke bail for anyone who breaches their conditions. Since last year, the average daily number of children in detention has doubled, peaking at 46 last month. In the most recent count, all but 2 of the young people locked up in the Territory were Aboriginal, and more than 3/4 were unsentenced.
They could be on bail for something as minor as stealing a chocolate bar from a service station, and yet they are being remanded in detention for just simply not being at home.
17 years of age got me on my knees praying to the Lord.
Joseph Eborn knows what it's like to be trapped in the prison cycle.
Nobody understands Aboriginal kids, really. The way I see it, give them the tools to destroy themselves and let them rot in prison.
One chance at life's a go play. My mind's here for you, so please stay. My heart ain't been in the right place. I swear I'm gonna change, yeah, I swear I'm gonna change.
Joseph is trying to kick off a rap career under his stage name, J-Ray.
Until March 21, I'm defined bad. That's 'cause I'm stuck.
He says he's begun turning his life around since leaving detention just before his 18th birthday this year.
I'm not trying to put myself out there to make myself look like some big Aussie gangster. I'm trying to be some big Aussie role model, I guess.
But it's been a long journey to get here.
Dad had me at 15. Mum was 13, turning 14. So I'm moving around a lot. Couldn't really settle into the one school. I didn't have much of a good upbringing because Mum and Dad were fighting a lot.
Joseph was put into state care when he was 12.
Living with a different family was really uncomfortable for me, so I started running away. That's when I first really started hanging around the streets with people I didn't know. Like, you want to fit in, you have to prove yourself.
He ended up in the Dondale Youth Detention Centre after committing a string of property offences. He was 13.
I cried my first time. I won't lie about that. It's really scary when you get told to strip search, squat and cough at the age of 13. Blokes looking at you. Still remember that feeling.
For almost 6 years, he struggled to break the cycle. He was still couch surfing and addicted to marijuana, which made it hard to meet his bail conditions. Then, last year, Joseph reached a turning point. He started writing songs and putting the words to music with the help of local rapper Riley Page.
Putting it down on paper was getting it off my chest. People hearing it was them, to me, understanding what I was going through.
Youth crime is a divisive topic in the Northern Territory.
Night after night, a majority of Alice Springs residents lock their doors and stay home.
But figures from the Australian Bureau of Statistics show the number of offences committed by young people has actually dropped by almost 10% year on year. The Territory Labor government says its strict new bail laws were designed to target a small group of repeat offenders.
We've been looking at how we can prioritise the safety of community, looking at reducing some of those very serious offences and incidences that occurs while people are on bail and keeping our community safe, but also providing more options for young people to reduce their contact in the criminal justice system.
If locking up children was what made the Territory safe, we should be the safest place in Australia.
5 years ago, the Territory's youth justice system was thrust into the spotlight.
Within 12 hours of the Four Corners program going to air, Malcolm Turnbull had announced a royal commission.
A landmark inquiry found children in detention had been abused, humiliated and isolated. It said locking kids up doesn't stop reoffending or make the community safer, and detention should be a last resort.
It will live as a stain on the Northern Territory's reputation.
The report also called for Dondale to be closed, but instead the government is spending millions to refurbish it to deal with rising prisoner numbers.
How would you respond to those who say your government is backing down on its commitment to implement the reforms outlined in the Royal Commission?
218 recommendations, 215 recommendations underway, 158 complete by our government. It is not something we're backing away from. It's something that we take very seriously. Putting the needs of victims and community safety is an absolute priority for the Territory Labor government, but continuing that work so we do see greater reform in the Territory.
Acting Children's Commissioner Sally Sivers monitors conditions within youth detention.
At the moment, they're very short-staffed, and so we hear stories of children being locked down and rolling lockdowns, and so, leading to really prolonged periods of young people in cells. This is the third time that we've done the Tough on Crime. The first time in the 2000s, a young man took his own life in Dondale. The next time was the images that you saw on the Four Corners show. It's really what will the next tragedy be?
Territory Families Minister Kate Warden said claims of understaffing and prolonged lockdowns were incorrect and said 30 additional staff would begin working at the centres in September.
There's no such thing as a bad child. There's only bad experiences that shape our reality.
Across the harbour from Darwin, a group of boys are spending a week at a healing camp. Some have been in trouble with police, but others are here as mentors.
We're not a boot camp. The boot camps are punishing kids who've been punished their whole life. That's not what the children need. What they need is healing, support and love.
Moses Nicky joined the program a decade ago. Without it, he doesn't know how his life would have turned out.
Worst case scenario, probably wouldn't be here at all.
The 25-year-old started getting into trouble with police as a teenager, but with support, he was able to get his life back on track.
Most of these kids come from broken homes, if not all of them. And the thing that helped me sort of stay out of trouble was having these programs.
Studies show over 60% of those who completed diversion programs didn't reoffend within a year, while 3/4 of young people leaving detention were back inside within the same time frame.
I find keeping kids in prison and putting in punitive measures like that not only a political ploy to satisfy the voters, but it doesn't actually achieve any outcome and it leaves people in a suffering state.
Something's not right, something's not working. From my view, it's just them making money. The system making money off us. Keeps us going in a cycle that we can't break.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.